We're not alone. You're in for a world of hurt. What's that noise?
Stop. Don't come any closer. Are you alive? Or a ghost? I don't know. Haven't seen anyone in a long time. Last friend of mine left this cave, what, 5 years ago? Could be more. Hard to tell the time in here. But there, it's just endless damn autumn. But yeah, it's been a while. So maybe I've started to lose it. Thought I'd ask. Politely. I'm the one asking questions here. Though, looking at you now, I won't kid myself. I wouldn't stand a chance in a fight. Name's Sylvius. I've lived here many years now. What? Gods, no. I'm hiding from Del Riata. And since the war's still on, and you don't look like a Riata, I say, welcome. We can hide together. It's safe, more or less. You get used to the dark. At dusk, before the weirdness creeps in, I go out to, well, I hunt. The war with Del Riata started with the Gunvelder lot. But I heard Galahad say he'd bring in reinforcements and push on. And the Del Riata, I used to think they were savages. But even though they do fight like wild beasts, they're just people like you and me. And I'm done helping with this. That's why I'm hiding. I wondered about that too. When the order came, the Del Riata aren't the friendliest neighbors, sure, but they've never done anything to us. And they had a deal with King Arthur. They could rule their lands their way. So why the bloodshed? I thought, and finally it hit me. When you don't know what it's about gold. Or something else worth taking. So I figure those fine knights of the Round Table made a deal to bleed the Del Riata dry. And keep the loot for themselves. Because it's miserable back in Camelot. The city's nothing like the capital from the old stories. It's a stinking gutter. No wonder they're after coin. Well, since Camelot crushed the Gunvilder, don't know how long exactly, long enough. A few lads and I never got the retreat order. They left without us. We had no choice. We had to hide, had to survive. I made it because I was stubborn. The others, they gave up, walked out, never came back. That's how I know the war is still going. And nothing will drag me out of this cave. What? No, that can't be. I hear battle sounds every day. They're so loud. Feels like the war's going on just over the hill. But the weirdness comes at night. And what happened to Gunvilder Keep? That was a massacre. Maybe it is the weirdness. I've heard it can bring your worst fears to life. Thought that was just stories for kids. I don't know what to think anymore. Who knows? They left me, just left. I've been alone ever since. Alone in this awful place. Too scared to walk more than a few steps from the cave. So many years. And now what? What am I even supposed to do? If I go back home, they'll think I'm a spy. They'll hang me before I say a word. But if I stay, I'll die here, alone. When you leave, I might never speak to anyone again. I'll just rot here in this dark, cold cave. Maybe I will. I'll go back as a beggar. Nobody needs to know who I really am, right? You're right. I'll pack some supplies and start walking. It's a long road home. Thank you for showing up. You're welcome to use this cozy little cave of mine whenever you like. I won't be needing it anymore. Before we part ways, I'll give you the location of a stash left behind by our old legate, one of Galahad's close men. His treasures weren't any use to me, not in the state I've been living in, and I don't have the strength to carry any of it now, so I'm passing it on to you for talking with me. It really helped. Thank you.
It's crawling with monsters out there, isn't it? I'm hiding here to get my strength back before moving on. They call me Runner because I'm a fast runner. If I were still with my tribe, I'd have introduced myself as Shabba. But Scarin the Skin Taker gave me that name, and I just got used to it. Not really. My greatest sin was being a Gunvolder who survived. None of the other tribes would take me in. They think my survival goes against everything the Del Rita stand for. Can you believe that? As if surviving is beneath the Del Rita. Who needs us dead? Only the worms in the ground. So I joined Scarin the Skin Taker's band. We were like a family, until Scarin decided there was no place for me in his ranks. He's the top dog around here. After I joined him, he called me Runner. Said it was for how fast I run away from a fight. He's one mean son of a bitch. At first, it seemed like we all shared the same idea, uniting the Del Rita, even the Nameless Ones. But over time, he started losing it. He sees conspiracies everywhere, trusts no one, stuff like that. I think the power got to his head. I've heard it happens sometimes. Out of here. Anywhere. The farther the better. I've got just one last piece of unfinished business keeping me in these lands. But I need a lot more strength before I finish my mission. And all these monsters sure aren't making things any easier. I want to get rid of Scarin the Skin Taker. He shouldn't rule over anyone, and he certainly shouldn't try to unite all the scattered Nameless under his banner. What if he succeeds? The way he is now, he'd have us attacking our own brothers. I've had enough bloodshed. One Eye's off to his war, and word is that Gurfhan wants to call the moot and go to war with Camelot. Or with One Eye for going after Camelot. Either way, it ends with us spilling more of our own blood. But it's the truth. And I was thinking, if you're willing, we could make a deal. You see, if Scarin were to be killed by someone outside the Del Rita, not only would he die, so would his legend. My Nameless brothers will see the truth. Someone wiser will take his place, and we'll live in peace. Exiled, maybe, but still honorable. Great! That's what I like to hear. Bring me his head, and I'll share what I took when I left the village. You won't be disappointed. Don't you worry about that.
Did you hear something? This is my... Keep your wits about you. Stay focused! We have company! What's that noise?
Scarron won't kill himself. I'll be waiting here. Excellent. I knew you could do it. Now, all I need to do is defeat you and bring your head to the camp. Whoever avenges Scarron takes his place. That's the way of the nameless Dorita. Risk? Ha! I'm not risking anything. I bet the fight with Scarron weakened you, and I'll finish you off with pleasure.
I thought I heard it here once. Soft, like a crack in the air before storm. But it slipped away. Again. Did you hear it? Something we lost before we knew how to miss it. It shaped the way the rivers bend, the way trees lean into the wind. It's still out there, just harder to hear. I'm trying to hear the perfect thought. What remains of it, at least. It was the first true thing. We were made from it. We remember only the weight of its absence. It wasn't a word, and it wasn't a sound. It was what came before all. Before we knew how to shape clay and burn fields, before we named anything at all, before all that, there was a thought. Not a rule, not a command. Just the rightness of a thing standing where it should stand, growing where it should grow. I don't think it meant to leave us behind. I think we forgot how to hold it. Because it's the only thing that ever made sense. Everything else is broken. It's real, because nothing else ever fit right after it was gone. Maybe nothing. Maybe the stones would sit straighter in the ground. Thank you for listening. My clansmen lost patience for me a while ago. Here, take this. It might prove useful during your travels. Farewell.
veil stirs. I awaken. I am the observation construct, set here long ago by my creators. Of them, no trace remains, only silence. Yet you bear the soul mark of a creator. Faint, flickering, but there. Shall I speak what I have seen? Time is not mine to measure. No sun reaches this place. If you seek such knowledge, find the one the creators named Time Construct. Or ask the construct for watching Outlanders. He counts the days, or so it's said. You must choose what I shall speak of. My memory holds much, but not all at once. Would you know of the living that pass through this place? Or the signs carved upon stone? Or the bones and the other still organic matter? So be it. Many come, small lives, clawed and toothsome. They bicker, they fight, they devour. Be wary. None like you have passed this way in many cycles. None who bore such light in the soul. The stone is painted history. The first carved their truths into the walls, signs not bound by the turning of time. I watched as stars marked their days, the gut of the mountain, the giant's eye. The sky bore witness when the primordial fell. The pattern remains for those who know how to follow it, but few now do. One rests still, a skull of the first, cradled on a pedestal, delicate, revered. Perhaps the old tales speak true, that the creators sprang from those ancient ones. The signs point that way. But to say more would be beyond my knowing. A greater construct would be needed. I do not know this word. I was woken by the hand of creators, or perhaps by their will. That is enough. I wake to presence. I rest when the world falls silent. The watch is ended, for now. When another soul walks this ground, I shall wake once more. Take this as a memento of our meeting.
Never. Until now. Seeing it through your eyes. A truly fascinating phenomenon. It only proves how little we understood about the Foredwellers. Sadly, our encounters with them were limited to the battlefield. We knew they created helpers for themselves, but their use appeared strictly military. We saw creatures that dragged the bodies of fallen Foredwellers off the battlefield, like great hands retrieving their dead, or living beacons that revealed the location of our camps. But this construct seems even older. It must have been created before we ever arrived, back when they could explore their lands in peace. Lands we had to wrest from them, just to survive. We had no time for such speculation. As you know, survival in this hostile land was all that mattered to us. But now, with the construct's claim that they might have been the fathers of the Foredwellers, it does give one pause. Who knows? Perhaps humans too might one day learn to coexist with the weirdness. But first, we must give them the time, so they may have a chance to find out.
little lady sent her lapdog.
Aye.
So, dog, speak. Got the gold? Daniel Day.
You did it! Wonderful! I don't think I need to hear the details of that meeting. What matters is that it's all behind us now. I'm deeply grateful. Here's a reward for your efforts. I'll soon begin my more extensive research on the brain centers of all 4 subjects. Oh, and one more thing. You've proven yourself trustworthy, so you'll find a few special items in my shop now. Perhaps something will catch your interest. Hope you'll find something useful for yourself. You've already done so much. Thank you for that. That said, there's one more thing you could help me with. The Guild has been trying to get in touch with Dolph Jonquier for a while now. He went missing somewhere in the Forlorn Swords. All I know is that he was supposed to be conducting research in the territory of the Sven tribe. We need to make sure he's safe and sound. He's one of the senior members of the Guild, although I didn't see him much. He spent most of his time working in the field. What's concerning is that he went to the Forlorn Swords alone. He's not familiar with the Dalraita tribes, and the situation in that region is unstable. We just hope nothing bad has happened to him. I appreciate it. Once you find him, ask him to provide a report on his research and bring it back to me. I'll pass it along to the right people. Don't worry, there's nothing suspicious about this. It's standard practice. Every member of the Alchemist Guild is required to submit these reports from time to time. Until next time.
Non-Rita wandering through these frigid lands. It takes courage, or perhaps folly, to traverse the Forlorn Swords alone. Sit, if it pleases you. A warm flame is rare here. The farther north you go, the less life you'll find. Nothing but snow, mountains, and the Dalrita, mourning days long gone. I'm an old Dalrita. I couldn't care less anymore. You, though? You look like someone who's never had to scoop snail roe from a fiend's guts. My advice, leave them be. And if you're fool enough to poke one, run like hell while you still can. They tend to explode. I am Vati. Little else of me is worth knowing. Yet, you asked as though you seek some greater tale. Not in my case, stranger. I'm just an old man, exiled from a tribe long ago. You, however, seem sharp, strong, and you're not from here. That much is clear. Now, it's you I'm curious about. So tell me, what brings you to the Forlorn Swords? I'll be. I haven't heard a tale like that in years. And what do you need those cursed trinkets for? A mission, you say, and it must be damn important. I'm afraid, however, that in this ruined village, you won't find what you're looking for. But I know someone who might be able to help. Gerfan. That old codger might finally prove useful to someone for a change. Camelot. They butchered almost everyone from the Gunvaldir tribe. Old Frode, Gunvaldir chief, knew the Camelosians were coming. He called for aid, but no one answered his plea. What a disgrace. And so, divided we fall. Now, his firstborn wages his own war in the south. The Dalrita dared not speak his name aloud. They call him One-Eye now. The last I heard, his people had taken the temple of the All-Mother. Among the Dalrita, there were rumors that their giants had begun to stir. Hard to say how much truth there is to it. Look for yourself. Still sleeping like the dead. Camelot may have feared it, though. A wakened giant would have been just another burden on their already troubled heads. And royalist heads seem far less suited to carrying burdens. That's how I see it. Here? No. What happened here was a slaughter. The battle itself was fought in the fortress, but I wouldn't advise going there. Folks lose their wits there. For as long as I recall, restless Dalrita lingered within its walls, kinless or destined to leave heirs that would not remember their ancestors. But then the Gunvaldir decided to look after them. They claimed the fortress for themselves. No one objected. Gunvaldirs had close ties to the spirits of their ancestors. They took in those forgotten as their own, forging a bond with them. In return, the spirits granted them strength, sometimes even coming to their aid. Frode and his people thought moving the battle within the fortress walls would give them advantage. Well, they all died, so that tells you how it turned out. The only tribe living close enough were the Ulfar, but trust me, most would rather raise a toast to their ancestors than meddle with their spirits. Let the dead remain dead, as they say. It's surprising he's still alive, I won't deny. But I understand how he gathered loyal warriors. The mood in the tribes is sour. Some have had enough. They break away and rally to the banner of the proud warlord. A madman's fight against the oppressor. A romantic vision, isn't it? I was once a scribe, and true to my calling. I live in the past, stranger. I won't tell you anything of value, just old tales and bygone days. I have little contact with the tribes these times. The words of an exiled Darita carry little weight, same as his name. You'd be better off discovering things for yourself, believe me. It will be a far greater lesson than anything I could ever tell you.
I can only assume that Camelot is no longer what I once built it to be. If it were up to me, the old agreements would still be honored. But if they went through with such an attack, then they must have had a reason. I suspect it was the need to secure resources in case the weirdness thickens. All signs point to that. The men here in Kuanacht, the assault on the Gunvalder, and we don't yet know what else they've done. Don't ask if I would have done the same. We cannot truly know what the situation in Camelot is like now.
I think you lost your way. Turn back and be on your way. This is the village of the Sven tribe. Whatever you're looking for, you won't. Listen, I don't know. I just have orders not to let anyone in. So unless you have real business here, I see we understand each other.
That's me. It's true. It's been a while since we last communicated. She must be wondering what's been going on with me. Well, my current work is far more important than my obligations to the guild. That kind that could be a breakthrough for humanity's survival on Avalon. You really... You want to survive, and that's understandable. Let's assume you manage that when the weirdness consumes all of Avalon. But then, my research can save this world because it holds the potential for... And you know where that potential lies? With the Dalriata. I'm working on creating a substance that captures the unique traits of their people and allows humanity. I'm glad you understand the potential behind my work. I hope you'll help. To create my formula, I need a substance that acts as... You can find them here in the Forlorn Swords. Of course, you won't get the slime. Excellent. The sooner you complete this task, remember, what we're doing here will be remembered in Avalon.